Hello, welcome to episode 2 of Movie Talk with me, Luke Ryan, RazorwireReviews, whatever you want to call me. And this week we got on the show Ryan Chattaway, another fellow movie YouTuber in the movie YouTube community. And he makes all kinds of videos, reviews, Blu-ray updates, that kind of thing. And he kind of has gained a bit of fame, I guess, recently. Well, not too much, not as much as he deserves. But he gained a lot of attention, at least, by doing a 24-hour movie marathon challenge early on this year, which was very successful. A lot of people took part in it. It was very fun. I did it myself. And this October, he's running another marathon challenge for all us YouTubers. And it is called the 12-Hour Fright Fest. So in the month of October, the challenge is to watch 12 hours of horror films, and there's guidelines and things for you to kind of stick by, have a bit of fun with, and make a video while you're watching all the movies. So I'll leave a link to his announcement video and everything, and in fact I mentioned that in the main part of the podcast. But yeah, so go check him out, go check out his channel, his videos, his Fright Fest. You know, if you're interested in that, definitely take part, 'cause it's really cool. I'll be doing it at some point as well. Ryan's from Florida, and yeah, I think that's about all you need to know. Let's get right into the podcast. Alright, so we're here with Ryan. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me on. It is a pleasure.
Awesome, yes. You were in mind when I was thinking about people I wanted to have on this. Definitely you, so it's cool that we could do it on the second week.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been really excited about it all day, and so
Awesome.
I'm glad we were able to finally get it worked out to do it.
Yeah. So you have a YouTube channel, Chattaway87, and you're currently doing your 12-hour Fright Fest. That's just through the month of October, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got a few more weeks left, but I'm sure it's going to last longer than that. So
yeah, it's same with your 24-hour movie marathon. A lot of people did that after the time period and stuff.
Yeah, and I don't know, it's been a lot of fun so far. I'm kind of hoping that more people catch on to it, but usually that's how it happens. People, maybe people are waiting until it gets closer to Halloween. All I know is that I've had fun, and you plan on doing it. It's just one of those things where it's hard to find time, and I don't know, it's going to be awesome. Either way.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, so check that out. I'll leave a link to his Fright Fest. Actually, I'll leave a link to your announcement video, because that was really cool, that little skit you did. It was at the beginning of, what's the film?
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead, I haven't seen it. But yeah, it was very cool, very fun. Cool video, so I'll leave a link to that. So yeah, some movie news I thought we'd kick off with. Some superhero stuff. Warner Brothers this week, they just they finished this court case that allows them to make the Justice League film by 2015, or at least 2015, because they were kind of battling for the rights to use Superman after 2013. So whether they actually make the Justice League in 2015 or not is to be seen. So what are your thoughts on a Justice League movie?
Well, I think it's pretty sweet. I mean, I don't really think they could. I don't know. Hopefully they reinvent Batman in a different way. I'm kind of glad that they're doing a Justice League movie, because think about it, if there was no Justice League movie, then, I mean, in reality, how would they keep Batman going? I mean, Batman's my favorite out of all of them. And so, I mean, how would they, unless it was unless it has something to do with all the heroes, they could kind of reinvent them in kind of a lighter way. I mean, I think they could it could be a lot more lighthearted, because, I mean, how can you follow up Christopher Nolan's franchise? I mean, really, you can't do it without any help with other superheroes. I mean, I'm sorry to say, if there's anybody that's listening to this and doesn't like Christopher Nolan's movies, I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. But I think it's gonna be awesome. What was the lawsuit or the thing again? Something about Superman? They were trying to get the
It was the sister of the co-creator of Superman, Joe Shuster, I think that's how you pronounce his name. And she signed an agreement or something allowing Warner Brothers to use Superman, and it's coming up to the point where they have to kind of extend it and stuff, I think. So
yeah, I really wonder how it's all going to work out. I wonder who's going to play each of the superheroes.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
How it's going to coincide with Man of Steel. which I don't. Maybe Man of Steel will just be kind of a standalone thing. I don't know. I doubt. Who knows? But I'm really excited.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about the Batman. I think that it's gone so dark now, especially with Dark Knight Rises. It's in the title. It's a very dark film. I think they definitely need to kind of go down a bit with Batman and be a bit lighthearted and stuff. And I think Justice League would be a perfect way to do that.
Exactly.
And speaking of big superhero films, they've announced this week again that Ant-Man is going to be coming out in 3 years. I don't know if you heard about this Ant-Man film.
I did. I'm pretty excited about it. It's just I'd never really, to be honest with you, I'd never really heard of it until recently, and I've done some research on it. It sounds fun. I mean, who's playing Ant-Man?
Well, we don't know yet, but we do know that Edgar Wright is going to be directing it, which really excites me, personally.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah. He's one of my favorite directors, so...
I think I heard rumors, somebody saying Seth Rogen was going to play Ant-Man. I don't know. I hope to God that's not the case. I mean...
Yeah, me too.
Let's not go down that road.
Yeah.
Green Hornet, yay!
Yeah, I never saw that film. Did you see it?
I saw it in theaters and wanted my money back.
Oh. Really?
I'm not really a big Seth Rogen fan. I don't know.
Did you really get your money back though?
No, I didn't get my money back. I wanted to.
That would have been awesome.
I'll be honest with you. When I saw it, it was actually a free. I knew a manager.
Oh, okay.
I knew the manager, and we got free tickets. So it was the only time In fact, one of the first videos I did on YouTube is me reviewing the movie, talking about how crappy it was.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that one.
I stole the 3D glasses because I was like, man, if I'm gonna get something out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, the release date is November 6th, 2015, which means that it won't be a part of the build-up to Avengers 2, because that's coming out on May the 1st, 2015. So people are speculating whether it's going to be part of Phase 3 to another Avengers movie, but that's just thinking too far into the future now.
It stinks that we have to wait so long anyways. I mean, I'm glad that, that's the thing. I hate when dates are announced, because it's like,
yeah,
the Avengers 2 is coming out in 2015. I'm like, well, hopefully I'm still alive. I'm just joking, but I know sometimes it's so far off. I'm like, man, why can't it be right now?
But to give you like a kind of a bigger picture, of course, we've got Iron Man 3 coming out in May next year. So that's not too far off. And then in August 2014, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy, which again is something I've never really heard of, but apparently it's part of the whole Avengers 2 kind of thing. Then November 2013, we get the next Thor film, and then April 2014, we get the next Captain America film. So at least we know there's going to be loads of films peppered in throughout the years, leading up to the next Avengers movie. Why not even with the dates and stuff?
Yeah. Since we're on the topic, I'm going to go ahead and make a somewhat confession. I think it'll bring up a nice little discussion. Okay. Since we're on the topic, I'm going to go ahead and make the statement. I'm not really the biggest fan of the Iron Man movies.
Interesting.
But here's the thing. I love Robert Downey Jr. I think he's hilarious in all the movies.
Yeah. But
there's something about the movies. I don't know. I love the Avengers and I love all the other movies, but I don't know. Maybe he I don't know. For some reason, I really liked the first one. I liked the first one a lot. It's the second one I didn't really care for. I thought it was too. I don't know. He was too much of he was too full of himself, and it was kind of like, oh man, I wish they wouldn't made him so. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there just for the heck of it, but they're not bad. I just prefer the other ones.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Well, I might have to give them another watch on Blu-ray, because I got the Blu-rays. I haven't watched the Blu-rays yet. I watched them on DVD the first time around. I preferred the second one slightly, and I know everyone thinks that the first one is amazing and just like a perfect superhero film and all that, and I thought it was very good. But I love the second one just because, with all like superhero sequels, as soon as the film starts, they're that character. There's no big origin build-up over like an hour and a half. As soon as Iron Man 2 starts, he's Iron Man, and I just enjoyed it. I know that the first one was a better film, but I just enjoyed the second one a bit more. Even though Mickey Rourke was a bit in it.
Well, to be honest with you, now that you just mentioned that, I don't really care for the second movie, but what I love about the second movie, which I wish was in the first one, I love how, you get to see other characters in the universe of the Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I really, really liked about it. But other than that, like, I mean, I like Mickey Rourke. Maybe I just wish he was in the movie more as like a hardcore villain instead of just
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I just look into things too much, but
don't we all?
Yeah. All I know is that the Avengers is amazing. So
yeah. Also, some news from this week is a couple of actors speaking out about certain films that they've done. The first one is Tom Hanks, who was interviewed for Cloud Atlas. Have you heard of this film, Cloud Atlas?
Oh yeah, it looks very interesting.
Yeah, I've actually avoided looking at any like trailers or stuff. I don't know if any trailers are out actually, but I know there's been like videos and pictures. I've just avoided it because I feel like it could be cool, but I'm just gonna, wait it out a little. But yeah, he said that he says it's not like I'm pushing Turner and Hooch or Angels and Demons. I'm not allowed to say it's the most extraordinary movie I've ever seen because one, I'm in it, and two, I promoted a lot of movies, but I think it is. So Tom Hanks is raving about Cloud Atlas and saying he thinks it's great and kind of put down two of his older films in the process, which is kind of funny. But I trust Tom Hanks' opinion. I think it will be very interesting. Of course, the Wachowski brother and sister are making it, and
brother and sister.
Yeah, I was going to say the Wachowski brothers then, but that's not correct anymore. But yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
I heard. I don't know. I know they've made other films since the Matrix films, but I don't think I've seen any of them. So, but I'm interested. I'm very interested in it.
Well, hopefully it's better than Matrix sequels.
Yeah, that's a whole other podcast as well. And then the other actor was Hugo Weaving, who was talking about his role in the Transformer films. Of course, he voiced Megatron, and he says,
and he talked about how much he loved it.
He said it was one of the only things I've ever done where I had no knowledge of it. I didn't care about it. I didn't think about it. They wanted me to do it. In one way, I regret that bit. I don't regret doing it, but I rarely do something if it's meaningless, and it was meaningless to me, honestly.
Well,
and he says I don't mean that in a nasty way. I just did it.
Well, I mean, if that's how he feels, it's how he feels. But he sounds really happy about it. But I don't know. I mean, it's just. I heard Michael Bay came out and said something in response, but I don't know what he said.
It wouldn't surprise me.
He probably said something. I don't know. It's hard for Michael Bay to have any kind of credibility in regards to certain things, but who knows?
He says that he says he's never met Michael Bay. He says, I was never on set, I've just seen his face on Skype.
Oh, so it was like he just did the voice and that was it. And
he says,
So he
I know nothing about him, really.
Or anybody? Huh.
I guess not. Well, I don't know. I'm sure he must have went to the premieres, thinking about it. I don't know. But yeah, he randomly came out with that this week, which I thought was hilarious, but there you go. I'm guessing he got paid a lot of money to do that, and it probably didn't take him that long, so fair enough.
Yeah, he probably wanted to make some more money by getting in the press, and so he decided to make a comment and get paid another $1 million just to comment on it to a newspaper. Who knows? That's usually how it works.
Yeah.
I'd do it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's not like he hasn't done great films, He's done a lot of great stuff, so I guess you can allow him the fact to go in and just make a load of money.
Well, his response to the Transformers movie is my response to going to see Green Hornet. It was meaningless. So I could relate to that.
And you don't mean it in a nasty way, it just was.
And I apologize if anybody that's listening likes the Green Hornet, but I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all opinions, isn't it? And yeah, that's about it really. I picked a few things. Apparently there's a Lego Batman movie coming out called Lego Batman the Movie DC Heroes Unite, which is a bit of a mouthful, but
that's it.
I'm not that
All
interested.
it's called?
Yeah, I'm not that interested in it, to be honest. I've never been into the whole Lego craze. Like, you got those Lego games and stuff that everyone loves.
I heard they're going to come out with a movie called Lincoln Logs Batman. I don't know. That's Lego. It doesn't really. I know that there's like this. I know there's this huge phase now, or whatever it's called, fad, where people are into Lego superhero video games and stuff, and I don't know. Legos.
But on the topic of Batman, I thought we could talk about The Dark Knight Returns Part 1, the DC original universe animated movie, I think that's what they call them, that just came out this month, or last month even. And I'm a big Batman fan, I know you are as well. And, well, you just said it earlier on. So, yeah, I know you've got the Blu-ray as well, and you've watched it 3 times now, so what were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was amazing. And to be honest with you, I haven't seen a lot of animated like DC stuff or any of that kind of. It was really one of my first experiences with watching it. Like I never saw Year One, which that's on my list to watch, and so it was really one of my first times like watching a good feature length animated DC adaptation, and I loved it. I mean, I loved I love Peter Weller. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
I love his voice. I mean, RoboCop himself. I mean, I think he did a great job. And the movie in general, it was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, I read the graphic novel earlier on in the year. I know there's loads of people who have, read that graphic novel back in the 80s when it was first released, and so this is like a huge deal for them seeing this film. For me, I've read the graphic novel, so I'm excited as well. But yeah, I just thought it was incredibly well done. In terms of like being faithful to the graphic novel, it's insane. Like the amount of stuff they got right was awesome. But I'm not really I don't really hold on to it so much. I'm not like a diehard kind of. It has to be exactly like the graphic novel kind of thing. But I'm sure watching it outside of that is really cool.
Yeah, it was a really well made like movie too. Like just it was unique in how a lot of the like build up and introduction of the story and stuff was told through a newscast.
Yeah.
I never read the graphic novel, so I don't know if that's how it was, but
it's a lot. There's a lot of newscasts.
Yeah, I mean, it was really creative, and it was like I don't know. It reminded me of like for instance, RoboCop and Starship Troopers. Movies that are like that like have a lot of the media built into it, telling the story. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed that about it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the graphic novel is just completely like peppered with just like newscasts everywhere that kind of just progress the story along, and they really did that perfectly in the film. But so you don't know what happens in the next part, then obviously.
I have no clue.
Oh, you're in for a treat. I can't wait. So yeah, because they split it into 2 parts, which I think is a really good move because there's so much in the graphic novel, and to see that they're taking this much time to kind of really give us as much as they can is really cool.
Definitely.
I was so excited to get it. I had to import it, obviously, because the Blu-ray is only available in America. But as soon as I got it, I just watched it straight away and was just like, that was awesome.
Wait,
and I loved it.
It's only available in America?
On Blu-ray, at least, I think, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They don't do the Blu-rays over here for the DC animated movies, which is a shame. But, yeah, and I love the music as well. Like, there's kind of like a main theme to the film that you kind of hear every now and again, and it's almost like a bit like the Hans Zimmer stuff from the Dark Knight movies, but has its own kind of...
Yeah, I was like really, really pleasantly surprised. Like, it's a soundtrack, because I listen to a lot of movie soundtracks. It's one I could picture buying and listening to. I mean, it was a really good, and it's like any good soundtrack, you'd hear little bits and pieces of it throughout the movie, and then like at a huge scene, it all just comes together, and you're like, wow. That was one of the first things I noticed.
Yeah, it felt to me a bit like the music from the Dark Knight films, but it had more of a kind of depressing feel to it that kind of just fit the tone of the film perfectly, I thought.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel the exact same way.
yeah, but man, I can't wait for part two. There's a lot of cool stuff coming in part two. It's going to be awesome. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
But yeah, I'd recommend you pick up or try and find somehow to watch Under the Red Hood. That was another recent one that they did. It was really, really good. Um,
I'll probably just buy it. I'll find when I get some money together. I'll just buy it because I really would like to grow that collection.
yeah, yeah, it's worth buying. I'd still say now it's my favorite Batman animated movie, and I've watched a lot of them. Under the Red Hood is really, really good.
Well, I am adding it to my wish list. So
Good stuff. Okay, and then the final thing I think we could talk about, the biggest movie coming out this month, I feel at least, is Skyfall, the new James Bond movie, which I'm kind of like, what's the word? I'm kind of surprised that I'm that excited about it because I'm not the biggest James Bond fan. I used to watch them all when I was a kid. My stepdad had them on VHS, and I loved them. But I haven't really watched them since, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And I've kind of watched the Daniel Craig movies. I love Casino Royale. I saw Quantum of Solace in the cinema, and I wasn't too impressed by it. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The trailers are coming out. We just heard the Adele's theme song, which I think is brilliant, and I'm just getting really excited for it now. And I'm watching all the old movies. And from what I understand, you're a big James Bond fan, so it must be even bigger for you.
yeah, like when me and you first started talking about this, and you were like, I mentioned that I was like an obsessed Bond fan, to where I have like all the novels, different editions of the novels. I have all the VHS and I have all the DVDs. I don't have the Blu-ray yet, but like I've always been obsessed. And when you didn't really know that, I started thinking, I was like, I cannot believe it. I have not mentioned it at all in any of my videos. Which, when I realized that, I was like, I'm kind of shocked. And so I started thinking, I'm like, why did I go so long without mentioning it? I mean, because I watch them all the time. I mean, I at least watch one James Bond movie a week, and yet I have not mentioned it once. So, but yeah, I'm extremely excited. I think it's Sam Mendes. I think is from what I hear is doing a great job. All the early reviews, some people are saying it's one of the best James Bond movies ever, and it's pure amazingness. I mean, that's not even a word, but in fact, I just got done reading an article saying that Sam Mendes was heavily inspired by the Dark Knight trilogy in directing this movie, and so all the reviews so far, people are saying how close it is to being like you would think that Christopher Nolan directed it, which is pretty cool because Christopher Nolan said he's always wanted to direct a James Bond movie.
Yeah, yeah, that
But
would be interesting.
yeah, like, and so I'm extremely excited, and I cannot wait to see it.
Cool. So, what's some of your favorite James Bond films then? Because I'm going back. I'm watching all the films. I just finished watching Doctor No, and I loved it. I did see that when I was a kid, but I just all but forgotten it really. So yeah, what are some of your favorite Bond
Well,
movies?
my favorite is probably a tie between um, From Russia with Love and The Spy Who Loved Me.
Cool.
And people hate Moonraker, but like Moonraker is like one of my favorites just because Spy Who Loved Me is one of my favorites, and it kind of has a continuity to it, with
Yeah.
Jaws being in it and stuff. And so I've always loved it. I mean, it's
Mm.
extremely cheesy. Jaws is kind of an idiot in it, but it's a really, I think it's really cool, and I think it's unfairly treated, but you know, but I love Goldfinger, and I'm not really the biggest fan of Timothy Dalton or Pierce Brosnan, to be honest with you. Like, I like the movies, but I don't watch those nearly as much. And I love On Her Majesty's Secret Service. That's probably one of my favorites as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back into like the into my memory. I remember really enjoying On Her Majesty's Secret Service. GoldenEye was the one I watched the most because that was the film that came out when I got into the Bond films. So I guess you
Yeah,
could say Pierce Brosnan was my Bond, but I always preferred Roger Moore. That was when I was a kid, mind. So I'm interested now to watch all the Roger Moore films again and see if I still think he's my favorite because I can just remember it being really, really cheesy. But I guess that's
yeah,
part of the charm of it.
yeah. He brought like a lightheartedness to the movies, but one of the best things about James Bond movies is the one-liners that he said that they say, like in Goldfinger when that guy's electrocuted in the tub and Sean Connery goes, "Shocking, positive," like stuff like that. I'm like, dude, James Bond is amazing. But yeah, I've been into him forever, but I didn't really, I didn't like really choose to. I just kind of fell into it.
So how did you first become acquainted with the Bond universe then?
Well, my brother, I have two brothers and a sister, but my oldest, or one of my older brothers, he's a couple years older than me. Randomly, one year for Christmas, back in like 1994 or 5, asked for the James Bond series on VHS, and so he got it for Christmas, and he never ever watched it, and so he never watched it at all. And one day, I think I was grounded or something, and my parents took away movies, which that's what they did when I got grounded because I've always loved
Smart.
movies my whole life. I went to my brother's room and I was like, "Hey, there's these movies that he just got for Christmas that he hasn't even opened. I'm gonna watch them." And I was like, "Who's James Bond?" I was like, "Who's this guy?" And I put in Moonraker, and I was like, "Wow, this movie's sweet."
So
And
that was the first film then.
yeah, since then, I've loved James Bond, and uh, I don't know. He's just there's something about the movies. I mean, 50 years of James Bond movies. I mean, they have
Yeah, it's very cool.
they have to be sweet. So I kind of fell into it, but you know, I don't know. It's really really funny. I've always been into it, and my parents. There was a time when we were gonna move. My parents wanted me to move to another state with them, and they were like, "Ryan, if you move, we'll buy you more James Bond movies." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, and they would almost convince me to do it just because of that. And so
Yeah.
I don't know. It's funny how I've never mentioned it, but I always have.
Well, I guess there's always things about YouTubers, I guess, that you never really know. But I think I can't remember really the first one I watched because my stepdad had a lot of the videos and he loved them. It's just kind of one of those things where I'm sure I'd heard of James Bond before I saw them because it's just one of those things that's kind of just sunk in that pop culture kind of like everyone knows it, you know, like whether it's the music or the shot, the opening shot with the gun, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I can't remember the first film I watched, but I remember loving them as a kid. And I just checked out Doctor No, and I really enjoyed it now as an adult. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to try and watch as many as I can before I go and see Skyfall.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through a lot of them as well because I want to compare them. Unfortunately, but
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm gonna love it no matter what.
What I thought was really cool. Did you see the Olympics kind of skit that they had Bond with the Queen? Did you see that?
Oh, that was hilarious. That
It was
was so
great.
awesome.
Just the fact that the Queen has acted in a scene with James Bond, which is great.
And she went along with it. Like she was a good sport.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
hilarious. I loved it. I really, really liked
yeah. It's really cool, and it's kind of in the spirit of it, isn't it? Really, it's just it's fun,
it. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. I think right now I'd still say Casino Royale is my favorite because I just think it's a great film. But I don't know. Watching Doctor No, I was still kind of like, this is really cool. This is classic stuff.
Yeah. Casino Royale is definitely my favorite of the last 20 years. It's definitely in my top 5 just
Yeah.
because it's so good.
Yeah, well, I guess like going back and stuff, I'm going to be seeing like because I haven't seen all of them. I definitely didn't see all of them when I was a kid. So I'm sure there's a lot of classic ones I've just yet to discover that are going to be really fun to watch. The Pierce Brosnan films, like, I loved GoldenEye. I thought that was brilliant. Like, I don't know, there's just something about it. Again, I haven't seen it in a long time. I'm sure it'll kind of be like, oh god. Always used to play the GoldenEye game. Did you ever play that for the Nintendo 64?
I think that is like the greatest video game of all time.
Yes, isn't it? Oh.
Yeah.
Whenever I think of James Bond, I think of GoldenEye for the N64. Just a brilliant game.
You'd get shot and then the blood would come down the screen. Dun-dun-dun. Used to make me so furious.
So much fun. It was like, it's kind of like the genesis of all the games that are big now, like the first-person shooters and stuff, like the 3D ones.
Yeah, it was.
And
it's the best multiplayer I think of all time.
Yeah, I love how you could like shoot the walls and there'd be like bullet holes. Always try and write stuff, and almost everything you can blow up is brilliant.
Yeah, you know, I actually like GoldenEye and I liked Tomorrow Never Dies. It's the last two that I didn't like.
Definitely, yeah. I've seen all of them, the Pierce Brosnan films, and I have very little memory of the last two. They just weren't that memorable to me, even back then.
I mean, Denise Richards as a woman, as a doctor named Christmas. I mean, I'm not really. First of all, I can't believe that she's a doctor. And second of all, her name's Christmas. What is it, Dumb and Dumber? Lloyd Christmas.
I was wondering where you're going with that then, because you were like, and Denise Richards as a woman?
Denise Richards as a woman?
Yeah, I was like, where's he going with this?
I don't think I even knew where I was going with it.
Yeah, I love GoldenEye. For England, James. No, for me. It's classic. I've actually been to, the place at the end with the satellite.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't been there, but I've been to where it was filmed, Puerto Rico, when I was like 7 or something. So that was another thing. I always used to like look up information about movies, like where they were filmed, and I was like, oh, I've been to that place.
I've never been to Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Is that what you said, Puerto Rico?
Yeah, Puerto Rico.
Just making sure, because that'd be random if I said Puerto Rico, and you're like, what? I never said Puerto Rico.
Yeah. But yeah, I think after watching them all, I'll be more of a fan, I guess. But I'm still really excited for Skyfall, and I love the theme song as well. So it was great.
Yeah, I think I might do a YouTube video with me singing the song.
Yeah, sounds great.
Skyfall. That was awesome.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one. You've got to do it now. You've committed to it. It's,
Yeah, I'll do something. I'll do it like I don't know. I'll do like a flick pick, like a Flickster style video where I do it, or I might just do it like a wet movie video and make a theme song out of it. Who knows?
Only time will tell.
Yep.
Another thing before we go. Theme songs. You posted about this on Facebook, either yesterday or the day before, something like that. Favorite Bond themes. I really like Bond themes. They're just cool and fun, and again with the spirit of the whole thing. So, what are your favorite themes?
Well, I mentioned my favorite one. I don't know. I love all of them except for a few, which I don't really know which ones I don't like. I kind of forgot. But
some of them are a bit. Yeah.
The ones that really stand out to me are, my favorite one is the Chris Cornell one, for Casino Royale, just because I just think it's a kicking song, and like you could just listen to it and you just like want to go fight somebody. I don't know. It's just, and I really like A View to a Kill because it's so, Duran Duran. It's so 80s and it really captures the movie. And of course, I love like Goldfinger and all the other ones. I love Live and Let Die, but the Chris Cornell one and View to a Kill is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I loved A View to a Kill.
I hated the one from Quantum of Solace with Alicia Keys.
Can't even remember. Alicia Keys was I can't even remember it.
I didn't really care for it.
Yeah, I love Live and Let Die as well. That's awesome. But it seems like whenever like there's a big British event going on, they always wheel out Paul McCartney to sing "Live and Let Die" and "Hey Jude."
Exactly. He'll make money off that song for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Because I watched Doctor No, and there wasn't a theme song at the beginning. I was like, what? So obviously they hadn't started doing it
It's
then.
actually a really weird intro, too, if you think about it.
Yeah, the three blind mice.
Three blind mice everywhere. And then it goes to like that Jamaican dance.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was the first movie. They were still trying to get their feet wet, and the end.
Yeah. I love the GoldenEye one as well, actually. But I guess probably because I've just watched that so many times.
Who did that one again?
I think I want to say it was what's her name? No, it's gone. I can see her face in my head, but I no, it's gone. I'm gonna look it up.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up. You talk about something Bond related, because I want to know now.
Bond related.
Yeah.
Are you?
How many have you seen in the cinema?
Everyone since GoldenEye.
Ah, cool.
But I haven't really. I always forget about Never Say Never Again, because that one's not.
Yeah.
It's not really a part of the Bond franchise because of, it's not a part of the franchise, and so people never really talk about it.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this. I was reading up on it actually, and I found out about it. I kind of always knew about it, but I didn't know much about it. Like the fact that Sean Connery played Bond again, like 20 years after the first time he played him, and it wasn't a part of the main series.
No.
So, have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I've seen it a lot. I mean, I like it. It's pretty much just a remake of Thunderball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Well, a lot of the story goes is that there was some copyright. I don't know. There were some lawsuits about the guy who wrote the screenplays, or the guy who had the rights to the characters of like Spectre and all that stuff. And apparently there was like a falling out between him and the producers of the Bond series, and so he left, and he took the rights of all those like Spectre and stuff with him. And one of the things that he made, he wrote the script, the Thunderball, and basically years later, with the rights, he decided to remake it, and so he remade it. So, I mean, that was a pretty rough explanation. I think there's a lot more to it than that, but that's pretty much
probably
of it.
Yeah, because I was looking up the Blu-ray for it, and you can get the Blu-ray of Never Say Never Again for around like $200, something like that. It's mental.
That's so stupid because it was just out recently. You could buy it at like Target here in the States for like $20. I just looked online recently too.
Yeah, out of print. I'd also like to see Casino Royale, is it like a comedy kind of?
Yeah, it's kind of like a
film.
Has, like Peter Sellers, Woody Allen. A lot of Orson Welles in it. It's okay. It's more of a spoof, which makes it funny.
Yeah. Tina Turner. That's who did GoldenEye.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and the song was written by Bono and The Edge.
That's sweet.
Interesting. Yeah, and I'm looking at all the theme songs now. I can tell you one I hated was the Madonna theme, Die Another Day. Ugh.
That's my least favorite, just because I hate Madonna. I'm so glad that her and Guy Ritchie broke up a while back. I hate Madonna.
You just don't want her to be happy or with anyone.
She's an American, and then she moves to England or whatever for a few months, and the next thing you know, she has an English accent.
Yeah.
No hard feelings against Madonna, but
or the Green Hornet.
Or the Green Hornet.
Things Ryan hates.
In fact, I might rename my YouTube channel I Hate Green Hornet and Madonna. And Seth Rogen.
I think it'd probably be easier just to stick to your name. It's probably a bit more simple.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just make
I don't think I'd be able to make that fit.
Yeah, you should probably just make a video just talking about all the things you hate, I think.
Exactly. I think I'm going to.
Good. Look forward to it. Alright, thanks for coming on, man. It's been really cool having a chat with you.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I definitely enjoyed it, and I hope we can do this again someday.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about just having a few people and just kind of getting them on again and stuff, just see how it goes, really. Haven't got anything planned as such, but yeah. So, thanks for coming on.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for having me.
No problem. See you later, man.
Alright, take it easy.
Bye. Alright, so that's it for this week. Thank you for listening. I'm now thinking of having this podcast go up every Saturday night. That'll be Saturday night in the UK at least, or Saturday evening, I guess. So, you know, I guess maybe lunchtime, early afternoon in America and other places around the world. But yeah, generally the evening or late at night in the UK is when these will be going up on my YouTube page. And the download link for the MP3 is down below as always. If, well, I guess you're already listening to this, so if you're listening to this at the end, then you won't want to download it because you've already listened to it. Good thinking, Luke. You should have said that at the beginning. But yeah, I'm sure you saw the download link in the description box. But yeah, thank you for listening. I don't know who I'm going to have on next week, but we'll see how that goes. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you next time.